What's up?
Yo, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's the motherfucking Tiddlecast.
Episode 7.
7 and an eighth?
7 and an eighth. What is that from?
That's
122 and an 8?
Teenage Mutant Ninja
What
Turtles.
the heck is 122 and an 8? You're standing on it, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Just slip it down here.
Yeah. Fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja
First
Turtles.
one.
Yes, sir.
Episode 7. We're here in the stewed. Live.
Here, hold on. I think I need to fuck with your camera a little bit.
Oh, am I too tall? What is that on the screen?
This is from the 60s. It's the first, like, or some of the first electronic art
Oh, okay.
from from like the 60s and early 70s.
Nice.
The guy's name was John Whitney.
Oh, okay. He's not around anymore, is he?
Nah, he isn't. But I'm just like trying to.
Yeah, we got right into this.
Yeah. So what were we talking about? Like right before we started.
You were telling me about Denzel Washington, kind of in an interview, pretty much saying like, "Are you speaking life?" Or what was it?
Oh yeah. How there's this video of Denzel Washington where he says, "Good minds talk about," or he's like, "Average minds talk about people and gossip. Good minds talk about ideas and events and like history.
Yeah.
And great minds talk about ideas, right?"
Yeah.
So like I've been thinking about that a lot lately, and it made me wonder, like, well, what kind of conversations am I having with the people around me, right? And I noticed that there's this like one person that I know. I'm trying to be as like general as possible.
Yeah.
Who always talks about just fucking people, talk shit about people. You know those people at work, right?
Yeah, just they never have anything positive to say. Like any aspect of anything that's happening, they have to talk bad about it, talk down to it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have those people in my life anymore.
Yeah, man.
No.
Well, I mean, some of it can't be avoided, I think.
Oh yeah,
But I mean, to a degree.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I just kind of ignore it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at ignoring people and just kind of, when I'm at work, just sticking to my work and kind of, because you can do that. All the work politics and shit. But,
yeah.
I mean, with us on our podcast, I don't feel, we may trash people sometimes. But
Yeah, we do, but I mean,
everybody does.
This is a blue collar podcast.
That's true.
Yeah. I was thinking about it. I was like, man, like in the world of the conspiracy theory, radio host / podcast person, there's like varying degrees. Like, you have your Art Bells, and I think he was a good mind, if not great. You know what I mean? But then you have guys like Clyde Lewis. Have you ever heard Clyde Lewis?
No, I don't think so. No.
He does almost exactly what Art Bell does, right? But he comes out right before, right? Well, and for those of, like, I don't know if any of y'all know about Art Bell, but he's like the greatest conspiracy theory. We've talked about him before, I think.
Yeah, I think a little bit.
But so he's kind of like the blue collar Art Bell, you know what I mean? He's always talking trash about people, and he's like over exaggerating everything, and then when he gets called out on it, like he tries to turn it around, like it's like that other person not being open-minded, and he's just very like, he's like almost like a Trump Art Bell, you know what I mean, in his attitude.
How old is this guy?
I don't know, dude. I can't remember. But he's got a good voice and a good show because he over-exaggerates. You know, people like the blood in the street.
I feel like everybody, and I don't necessarily believe it's a lie. I think it's just when anybody tells a story, they're going to put a little seasoning on it. You know what I mean? They're going to throw a little bit of ketchup on top.
Yeah, it's very middle school, though. But, I mean, everybody does it. You're right.
But people do it differently. Like, and maybe they'll throw a few cuss words in, or maybe they'll add an entire, like, I kicked his ass. Like, it just, I like hearing people tell a story that I was involved in and just kind of hear the way it's being told over the years.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like a story, like what, like how, like for example, like just anything.
Yeah, like I mean, like, you know, my dad sometimes he'll tell stories, and I've heard the stories from years and years, and I'll hear him tell it to like one of my younger brothers or something like that haven't heard it, and I'll hear my dad's new take on it, so it's a little different. Like, not that he's lying about it, but he's just adding, exaggerating the story.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
exaggerates.
Yeah.
But it's not like a crazy amount, but it does change over time. But I don't know if that's a memory thing or...
There's all sorts of names for that too. It's also like it's like the... Now, I don't mean this like for this to be offensive, but have you ever heard of the thing Chinese whispers? Or I think we called it telephone. I think they call it Chinese whispers in other parts of the world. But yeah, where you tell it to the person next to you in kindergarten, like whisper it, and then it goes around the circle and it comes back different. Yeah, it's kind of like that, except, from person to person, it's like gradually through time.
It's like, oh, my shirt is white.
Yeah.
Like, my shirt is ripped and white. Like, just now it's your shoes.
Yeah.
Changes little kids.
Then it turns into Delta 51K, hashtag D51K.
For real, dude.
Keep it nice and simple and gradual today.
51.0.
And an eighth.
Yes. And an eighth.
And an eighth.
Oh, man.
Who's your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
Man.
Don't say you like them all. You have to tell
No,
me.
I'm going to say Raph is my first. Raph is my first.
Yeah.
And then probably...
I could see that. Yeah.
Raph or Mikey. I'm like I'm between Raph and Mikey.
Everybody, like Michael was like everybody's favorite.
Yeah, dude. But he was the party guy, but... depending on which cartoon or movie you're watching, like Michelangelo, some of them he's a badass, and then some of them he's kind of like just the little kid.
I think Raph was probably secretly a lot of chicks' favorite. Right?
Oh yeah, because he had a fucking attitude and he was rebellious.
Right? Yeah, it's like it's that subconscious female drive to want to tame. I'm gonna
try to tame the beast.
Yes.
Man, that's a fucking good movie. Damn, did you watch that this past week or what?
I don't know why the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles popped into my head, dude.
Man, that's a good one. Damn.
I'm just thinking about the originals, like 1 and 2, maybe 3. But
three
3
started...
It started getting a little weird, I think. Even as a kid, I recognized them.
Yeah, I was just like, man, I think these guys are running out of stuff to talk about.
Right,
Yeah. They're going like to a different... They're time traveling. That was the third one. Remember, they time travel with that scepter.
Yeah. I always liked like the fucking tube with the U's with the radioactive.
Oh yeah. The TGRI goop.
Right. Yeah. Fuck, dude. Good shit, man. But anyway, just going back to Denzel real quick, he said that good minds talk about so that was bad minds or whatever bad minds. Good minds talk about people and places and events, and then great minds talk about ideas.
Yeah.
And so I started looking through everything, and I recognized that I had people like that in my life, that we've covered topics like that. And so I was like, we need to because I think we do a little bit of embellishing, like you said, and we have talked about like some ideas, but we really haven't talked about, apart from Brighty, maybe, right? We talked about Brighty. So I think we need to do another with whatchamacallit, with the person. Are we gonna do
not just a
profile, like a historical event?
Man, I don't know. I listen to a lot of different true crime podcasts, and these are crimes that they weren't published or made movies and stuff like that. They're just kind of oh well, this murder happened in this little town in I don't know, Oregon or some shit like that.
Yeah, Forks, Washington.
And it's this guy kills 7 or 8 people for real, and there's a lot of that stuff they don't report it.
Yeah,
it's not like Ed Gein or some shit like that.
Ed Gein? I don't know Ed Gein.
He's a serial killer. Yeah, it's old school.
Okay.
Yeah, Ed Gein. Yeah.
When was that?
Ed Gein. Shit, let me type it in.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, where's the mouse?
You want here? Let me take it real quick
a
second. Let's Here we go. It's going to look like PornTube at first. You got it now. It's right there.
Oh, okay.
You see it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like it kind of like when you're zoomed out, or if you're watching this on a phone, it's probably going to look like we're on PornTube, but we're not. It's just the video search on DuckDuckGo.
See, Edward Theodore Gein.
Uh-huh.
He was born in 1906, died 1984.
Uh-huh.
See, he was an American convicted murderer and blah 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 blah. So yeah, he was a serial killer.
1904.
Yeah, he was like a back in the day serial killer.
That was when he was born, or when he died, or when he was active?
No, that was when he was born and when he died. That's like his life. But
like in and around 1904.
So yeah, he was a serial killer, and then Richard Ramirez is more of one that we would probably remember because he was kind of this wasn't really big in our time, depending on if you're like a history buff.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I seem to remember that. Like, I mean, shit, dude, when was that? 1986.
Yeah.
Around that time, I was a child, so I might have seen it on the news or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think they were covering it for a couple of years even after that.
Yeah,
right?
I think so, because they always follow somebody through their trial, and like even the OJ stuff, like OJ Simpson, that's like a huge one. Like, I think everybody remembers OJ.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm just trying to think about whether I saw the trial. I think I saw the trial because that footage of like them putting him in the cop car and stuff like that. I don't remember that.
See, I don't remember my parents. They didn't really watch a lot of that heavy stuff around us. But, sometimes I'd walk in and they would change it. Like, let me put it on cartoons or something.
My mom was sadistic, dude. She would like like show me that shit on purpose. She would calculate that. Like fucking Exorcist. I think I saw Exorcist when I was like 8 or 9.
Damn.
Fucking just a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Man, I remember seeing stuff like the only time I was able to actually watch stuff is like I would have to catch my dad like on a crazy like Saturday night. He's awake and my mom's crashed out and he's in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. And I'll go in there and he'll be up. He'll be like, hey, you want to watch a movie? I'll be like, all right, cool. And I would just kind of sit at the foot of the bed and he would be watching like the first Terminator on VHS. Damn, and I just remember catching like the last like 45 minutes. And I was like, oh, shit. Like,
yeah.
And I was a little kid, and I was just like, oh, we're not supposed to watch like rated R movies. And I just remember I was like, man, that's fucking cool. My dad would be like, all right, just, chill.
Just skip the part with the tits.
Yeah. Well, no, he would be like, hey. And I'd like turn my head away. Like, all right, cool.
You remember our conversation with my buddy Adam, right? Where we're talking about like the porno like section in a lot
the
of
video
store.
Yeah, dude. I remember it had like the little beads or like the little curtain
or something. Yeah, there was always a barrier so the kids couldn't see. But Debbie Dallas getting her shit pounded.
Oh, shit. Like, here, let's do this one on the side real quick. Fucking yeah. I remember now. Man, I guess kids nowadays, they don't understand that struggle of like porn when we were kids.
Oh, dude, or like you managed to get your hands on a copy of Hustler through
not
one
even
of your friend's
not even a
dad.
copy. Motherfuckers were selling pages. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Yeah, people were selling pages. Like, dude, I give you these 4 pages. Like,
Dude, shout out to that entrepreneur in middle school, dude. Where are you at now?
Yes, probably works for fucking Hustler magazine.
Yeah, dude, or in a can somewhere.
Oh shit, dude.
Right, dude. Thieves in. How does that say?
Well, I mean, I feel like those adult video places are always gonna thrive because they're more of like a toy store now. Yeah. I would imagine.
Yeah, Megaplex, and
yeah.
I'm not trying not to say the whole name, but yeah.
Yeah,
places like that.
People don't go there to buy movies. People go there to buy like novelty bullshit.
Yeah, like. But I remember being in places like that and like looking through the DVD section because I was gonna buy something,
Yeah.
Like there was that short period of time between when it was like illicit when you're a teenager and when you're over it, or
when it's almost acceptable.
Yeah. So I don't know, dude. Walking out of places like that, I'm like, really? I fucking spent this much money on this shit, like especially after the nut comes, right?
Yes, dude.
Like it's like, what good's a nut to a squirrel if it's already eaten?
Nah, I remember one time we were in the ditches in Live Oak, and there was like, it wasn't a tree house, but it was like an area where you can tell people were like chilling out. There was like chairs there maybe, and I just remember we found like some pages of like a porno mag. So we would always go back to that one spot, and it would always be there. And we would just look at these pages like, oh shit.
Damn, dude, you were
being like a little kid.
You were grabbing the same cum-infested paper that the last kid that came along.
Dude, I didn't care. We were just like, oh, this is so cool. Like, it's because nowadays you can say it to your phone and it'll just pop up.
Yeah.
Like could you imagine that when we were kids? I couldn't even fathom that shit.
What? The
like
oh
internet? Man, I want to look at porn. Like, oh, I could just think of it and it'll pop up right in front of me. Like I could literally talk to my phone and it'll just show it to me right now.
Yeah.
That's scary. That's crazy.
It's like magic, dude. I mean, I think we feel like it's like magic because there's very few steps between thought and manifestation.
Yeah.
Remember we were talking about that last time. But fucking A, man.
We're getting old. That's what that means.
Ah, dude.
So are you a Christmas person? Do y'all decorate? I noticed y'all decorated a little for Halloween. Are y'all big on the
no, actually,
Christmas?
We haven't gotten around to... Where did you see Halloween stuff?
Didn't y'all have Halloween stuff on your house at one point?
I mean, maybe from Facebook or something. Like, we don't have it up yet.
No, I'm saying, did y'all decorate your house? Like, the outside of your house with, like... Are y'all like a family that decorates, like, puts up Christmas lights and
occasionally,
that type of
shit? Yeah, occasionally.
Do y'all, like, get excited about Christmas? Or is it just kind of, like, whatever?
I mean, everything's whatever. Like, I mean, we'll put Halloween stuff, Thanksgiving, Christmas, but I mean, it's just like, I don't know. For me, it's like, oh shit, like
it's another chore.
Another chore, yeah. So yeah, like you triggered me right now. I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta put up the Christmas stuff.
The only reason I'm bringing it up is I want us to decorate for Christmas. So I'm like trying to put it out into the universe. So we got to do it.
Like on this, yeah, I'm down. I had a really good black and white and blue, like blue tinted black and white thing up earlier, and I lost the settings.
You fucked it up.
Yeah, I hit like the wrong thing, and I was just trying to rush through it, and bam. So I mean, this is all right.
Ew.
Fucking
ew.
So what are you looking for, like, apart from like Richard Ramirez? I just remember the part of Richard Ramirez where he's like holding his hand up in court testifying and there's a fucking pentagram there, but that made me feel like maybe he was just like sick or like not smart. Like that's just, I don't know.
I just remember that stuff was real, like, oh, that's satanic. Like that stuff was kind of kept away from
y'all.
Yeah, it was kind of like, my parents were real strict when we were real young when it came to that type of stuff. Like we couldn't.
Did you feel like you were opening a secret book when you became an adult and you started like realizing these little details, or were they just like Easter eggs that would pop up like, oh shit, I didn't know that?
Well, so like growing up, like I believe, like I had my convictions and but I was also a free spirit and I didn't.
That's good shit.
You know what I mean? But my parents were very accepting. Like they were kind of hard on us when we were real younger, but and I could tell they kind of were like, why are we trying to force these things?
Right.
You know what I mean? So when they kind of like,
that's cool.
When they kind of were like, hey, we'd like you to come to church. If you want to come to church, you can. You don't have to. Like they wouldn't force us. But when we were kids, like, no, we're all going to church.
Do you think they had that pre-planned? Like, if this doesn't work, this is Plan B, or did they just adapt to the situation?
Well, my mom was raised very church-going. My mom's a very church-going person, and I don't know if my dad went to church growing up, but I know he got more into the church and stuff when him and my mom got married. And then whenever we were born, it was pretty strict, Sunday school, all that stuff. And then I just remember once we all started going to like middle school and stuff, they kind of started dropping the reins a little bit. They're like, man, this is, we're not trying to force things down your throat. Like there was a whole back and forth with my dad about these Smashing Pumpkin CDs. He kept taking my CDs from me.
Oh my God.
I bought
He still got it in the wrapper. He's like, holy shit, I can sell this.
He's got Melancholy and Infinite Sadness. He's probably got 3 or 4 copies of those.
Damn, dude.
I just kept getting them, and I was like, this CDs, they're so...
Your dad's a time traveler, dude. He knew. He was like, I'm going to go back and get all these bomb-ass CDs.
And he's all telling me, you can't listen to this. This isn't good. And my dad's there with the Walkman shit, fucking jamming out. Like, damn. But no, I mean, like, I don't know, man. I think... With our kid Nolan, I think we're
shout out Nolan.
Shout out Nolan. You better be asleep, boy.
Little man.
Like we're not gonna be forcing anything on him, and like as of late, we both kind of like, I need to not yell. Like I try not to yell or get loud. I should say get loud. I don't yell, but you know, get loud. Because I'm thinking like,
was that a struggle for you? Because you were always like you have this like, well, you're Taurus, right? We talked about this last time. You have that bull vibe sometimes, like.
Well, like
not bull in a china shop though.
No,
you're very
no.
thoughtful. Yeah.
Like, I have to work. Like, my anger was a problem when I was young. Like, I had a really bad temper, and I didn't. You know, I think that was because of a lot of reasons. I was an angry kid.
Yeah.
But I was, I had to start looking at like, man, I'm breaking all of my stuff. Like, why am I, I kind of like, I'm not having fun with life. So I kind of like threw that on the back burner. But sometimes if I'm like really tired, like even being a dad, man, you know how it is, especially when you're like, when the kid's first born and you're not sleeping at all. Like, dude.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were lucky because Lalita just didn't do it. We're doing the daddy stuff again.
No. I mean, that's what I have to talk about. That's like my life is my wife and my kiddo. That's like, that's what I do.
Yeah. No, yeah, I was just thinking about it. I was like, dude, we're going to have to, like, what are we going to title this daddy section? Because I already came up with, like, 2, like, chapters for fucking
I mean, maybe
that
means that I'm boring, but, I mean.
No, I don't think so. I think.
Not boring.
This is genuine shit, you know what I mean? And in fact, it's one excuse to start advertising to women. I was going through the fucking advertising because our Facebook numbers were climbing a little bit because there's an ad right. And I was looking at it. I was like, damn. I was like, this is like that party that's a cock fest. We're we're talking about our cock fest. So like, yeah, dude, we're gonna have to start putting in some like heart to mind stuff. You know what I mean? Every now and then, definitely.
Well, I mean, it's. I have that whenever I was on a podcast with somebody and they were drinking, if they would mention Joe Rogan, I would,
That's right.
I would make them drink whatever they were drinking or take a shot or.
Our first few podcasts, dude, I was in here fucking drinking like fucking whiskey, dude. I made our fucking, well, yours and other people's, but like I was doing the whiskey thing for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through that. I don't drink anything now. I'm not a drinker, but when I was drinking, man, I went through a whiskey. I don't even think it was a phase. I think I just drank whiskey. It was always.
Are you a whiskey person too?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I haven't drinking since probably 4 years, but
whiskey is like the right mix between like yummy liqueur and like motor oil.
Yeah, dude,
you know
it's
what I mean?
That good mix. If you get like a nice Jameson.
Yes.
Like cold. I'm talking like freezing.
Right. Like to the point where it starts acting like syrup.
No soda, nothing. Just just ice cold Jameson. Oh my God. That's triggering me to like want to drink. That shit was good though. And then just taking straight, like we would always pass the bottle. Did y'all ever do that?
No.
Yeah. It was like Felipe was there. Felipe. Yeah. Felipe would be there and a few of us, my cousin, Ricardo.
Yeah.
Sometimes Justin, it would all depend, and we would just take a chug, pass the bottle, and you just keep doing that until the bottle would be empty. I think I may have been in Bobby and Michelle's garage at one point. You know what I mean? And something like that was going on. It was like a circle jerk of like tobacco and whiskey or weed. Like
yeah.
Fuck, man.
Well, dude, like
I remember being young and smoking. Like, I guess weed is. I don't think anybody gives a shit about weed anymore.
Yeah. I mean.
They do, but I don't, unless you have like pounds and pounds, you know what I mean? Like it's pretty much, you're going to get a ticket.
Right. Yeah. At this point, it's only like, like the job or whatever. But, oh, dude, did you hear that they were talking about, or some company was talking about, big company was talking about getting like rid of their drug testing completely.
Dude, I don't understand.
Or something like that. It's just so weird.
I don't understand why you need to drug test.
There was a time when that was just like, I mean, it was like the witch hunts or some shit like that. You know what I mean? That was the witch hunt.
If it's a military thing, I understand it. You know what I mean? If you're going to be working for the military, doing that type of work, like you probably,
I don't know. What was the football player that would smoke right before he played and he like won the Super Bowl high as fuck? You know what I mean?
Baseball players, there's like cokeheads and all that.
But they're doing it like to manage pain probably in most instances.
Well,
you know
I
what
mean, it depends on the person. Like Daryl Strawberry,
right?
Those guys, they were just fucking. They were like just madmen with just cokeheads, you know?
That's why I'm not against like, I mean, I guess it should be between a person and their doctor, but like, you know, the idea of consulting a doctor if you're in a state like that, you know what I mean? That's a good idea, right? Because like, think about like Susan Homemaker or, you know, oh shit, it's 2021, isn't it?
Susan Homemaker. What the fuck? I wasn't going to let you get away with that one, dude. I was like, wait. Did you see my face? Kind of like, huh?
Yeah, dude. I just let my 1950s like straight.
Dude, somebody's been watching Leave It to fucking Beaver reruns. This guy, gee whiz.
No maker.
Oh fuck. Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. Like Joe Schmo, John Smith,
or Joe Homemaker. You know?
Yeah, what I mean? Joe Homemaker. Oh my god.
Fucking Joe Homemaker. You know, like sitting at home. You know what I mean?
Man, do you ever wish that you were born in like a different decade? Like almost with your same life and your same like your life is gonna be
just that version of it.
Yeah, like you're still gonna be with like me. I'll still be with my wife, with my son, my parents, my family. It'll all be the same. We'll just be living in the 50s. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Do you?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So what are your eras?
I think like the 50s and the 60s. Like right
what about the 50s and the 60s? Because that's a transitional time.
That's why it would either be in like the late 50s where you still have that kind of doo-wop greaser shit, but you're starting to get into like the rock and roll kind of like things are changing, like television.
I think probably the greasers and the fucking hippies didn't get along. No. The older greasers and like the younger hippies are probably.
I feel like all the greasers are now. Well, we were talking how we're not going to try to put people down.
Oh, yeah.
I'm about to do it.
No, let's do it.
No.
At least we're aware.
So I feel like all the greasers, so all the hippies are like the politicians, the John Kerrys, the liberals, the older liberal people, like the Joe Biden age liberals. And then I feel like their kids, the greasers and all of them, I feel like
the greasers would have been their formers, would have been like their older brothers. And
yeah. But I'm saying I feel like the greasers are now like the libertarians, but they're really Republicans. That's how like they're the Joe Rogans.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? They're kind of cool, but they're kind of like conservative.
Oh, you're comparing that era of relationship, like
I don't know where the fuck. I think we can safely say we're at Delta 52.
It does. Okay.
Yeah, because I have no idea what I'm talking about right now.
Dude, I do. No, we're talking about. Oh shit, I lost it. Now, well, I mean, I think we agreed ahead of time that we. No,
I was talking about. Do you ever think about living in a different century? That's where we were going.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and like Joe Rogan is like the greaser, right? Compared to like some of the newer kids.
What the fuck kind of tangent was that? What is going on? Is that Magick?
I don't know, man. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Speaking of Magick.
Oh shit! Is it gonna be my segment? Okay.
No. I forgot to.
Oh, he didn't press record. Oh, okay. What are you looking for?
No, I said speaking of Magick, I had some shit to do.
Oh.
Dude, you know, I was that weird kid that like had a fucking home altar at like 12. You know what I mean?
What?
Home altar.
What the fuck is a home altar?
Like an altar at a temple or a church, except it's at home.
You do that? You have an altar?
No. Well, I mean, there's one right there. You threw it up on the Instagram. But that's more like a personal religious experience.
Okay.
But I mean, you brought up Magick, and I just forgot. I forgot to flip a card. You know, I read tarot cards, right?
Yeah.
Are you afraid of it?
No, I don't want to do it. No, I can't do that.
I thought about doing it for the show, but I was like, I better talk to Raymond.
I don't want to do that
stuff. Yeah, this is the fucking what do you call it? The Rider-Waite tarot, which is kind of like, I don't know if you know in Magic, there's like the left-hand path and the right-hand path. It's kind of like the right-hand path is like fucking like chill, like white magic, you know what I mean? Like, or high magic, like for a purpose, not to fuck anybody over. And the left-hand path is like
the dark shit,
Luciferian shit, use magic to get sex and money and fuck people over that, you know, you want to fuck over, that kind of stuff. So the Rider Waite, which is this one right here, it's like, it's very left-hand path, but I also have a couple of left-hand path cards, and this is actually...
So there's two versions of the card.
Well, there's two schools of thought in Magic, would be more accurate to say, but there's hundreds of decks, right? Like types of decks. But this one was actually, and it's significant because we talked about it. This is the small one. I have a larger one.
Oh, okay.
But it was, the artist was commissioned by Aleister Crowley.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So
Jeez.
this is probably like the I don't know, the most serious and grave that you can get in terms of tarot cards. And it's interesting because on the back it has like the Rosicrucian cross.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Which is like, it's like Rosicrucianism is like, it represents like the human being growing spiritually into a new form. You know what I mean? And so there was a time when I think Crowley was even very much into like that lighter shit, and then something happened. Like the dude,
he got his heart broken.
He's like, "Fuck that bitch."
I feel
I'm
like
bringing on the eschaton.
I feel like that happens to everybody. They have this beautiful thing, and it's magical, and then they get their heart broken, and they hate God. I think that's.
What is that, dude? Why do we do that?
I don't know, man. I feel like. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tale as old as time.
Damn, dude, you're all fucking poetic and shit.
Dog, that's from Beauty and the Beast. Tale as old as time.
Beauty and the Beast. Dude, we played that song in fucking like middle school band.
Oh, no shit. What did you play in the band?
The fucking triangle, bro, and I rocked that.
Oh my God.
I rocked
so
that.
you're like the ding. That's the shit, dude.
Dude, there was something about that triangle that hit. You know, like.
Do you have music playing?
Right. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna bring us in, man. Just to fucking chill, you know, just change the tone a little bit.
Oh, okay. How many minutes are we at?
We're at about 32.
Oh shit. I like this. Sounds like
And it's copyright free. This is actually my own composition. I've been fucking with a lot of samplers and shit lately.
Nice.
I was like, let me
Oh, you putting little keys on there. I hear it. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, I showed you those samplers, right?
Yeah. You sent me one I was fucking with.
Was that Studio One or Remix Live?
It's the keyboard looking. Oh, you know what? I think I had to delete it.
Yeah, it's a big ass app.
Yeah, I just remember I needed room.
Yeah, it's huge. But fucking yeah, there's a lot of good apps. That's like a fucking like a studio level synthesizer.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah,
and it's completely free. It's called Synth One.
Synth One. It's got like the big keyboard on the front of it or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot of good shit. But
I need to get that one again.
Yeah, Synth One, Remix Live. I think I did this one with Remix Live. But yeah, man, good shit.
Oh shit.
So let me see. We were also gonna mention we're going over ideas, right? That's
yeah. This is a we didn't prepare, but we still needed to. I want to try to make it like I need to record every week. Like, just make it happen. Even if we have to do it over Skype, like, say it's like, dude, I got to work late, but let's try to bust out 30 minutes or something.
Yeah, I know you like coming here. I like being in here too. But sometimes, like, when I'm doing like post production on like tomorrow in this instance, like I don't have to be in here all day. Like the work adds up to probably about 15 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just like, okay, well, let me upload this file and then come back 3 hours later or 2 hours later, you know, because they're big files, you know what I mean? Especially the video file. So, yeah, man.
Yeah. I'm the type, I have to sit down and do the whole thing or I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, I have to, if I like task myself to do it, I'll just sit there for like 45 minutes and just knock it out. Like, like when I say like, okay, I'm going to do it tonight. And if I don't hear back, like, all right, well, I'm doing it. So it's like, if you had any notes or anything, like you're too late, like it's going up kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I have to like do that because I'm a procrastinator, dude. Like I know my limits.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good. Yeah. Because you're like, you're adapting to your own psychology and shit. It's so weird, right? Like in many cases, we know what we have to do next and we just don't sometimes.
Yeah. like laundry. There's so many
fucking
things.
Procrastination is such a weird thing.
It's life, baby. It's
That's life.
That's life.
Thinking of the fucking song from Joker, the John.
The Christian
singer?
Bale?
No, the singer that comes out at the end of Joker, when not Danny DeVito. What's his name? He's the talk show host on Joker.
Fucking yeah. The Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
Yeah. When he's talking to the talk show.
Morty.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro.
Yeah, that's the name I was fishing for. Yeah.
De Niro.
So he's like, remember, that's life at the end of the show, right? And they start playing that song. It's like, that's life.
Yeah.
That's what all the
that's
people
a good movie.
say. That's a good song, dude. Yeah, the movie's fucking amazing, dude.
I heard a lot of people talk shit about it, but I mean,
I don't know why.
A lot of people are like, well, he didn't do anything. It's like, it's not following in like a Batman universe. It's kind of like a standalone movie that happens to be about the Joker.
There is a tie-in though. Did you see it? Did you catch it?
When he goes to visit Batman, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, the scene from Batman 1 when he's a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Jack Nicholson's character comes and kills his parents.
Yeah.
But it was like even earlier, like in the 40s or something, right? And so it, like, you see all this happen, and then he grows older.
In the corner you do see it, but
right?
But it wasn't Joaquin.
It was during the riots.
Yes, that's what it was.
And
dude.
it's like, so like, Joaquin Phoenix's character is like, having this thing happen, and it's like a brief like crime spree kind of thing,
but
right?
Batman's involved.
Like. But Bruce Wayne is a kid, somewhere down an alley getting fucking shot up, which doesn't exactly like make a lot of sense, I think, because didn't it take place in the 70s?
Well, it depends, like because like when did Batman first come out? Like in the 40s?
Batman.
When was the first comic book series based? You know what I mean?
It had to have been back then. Yeah, it was one of the first.
Let's see.
Grant Morrison, like
Batman origin.
Grant Morrison, the guy that's responsible for reviving a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
He's like a comic writer.
Mm-hmm.
But like comic is in comics. I can't remember.
Comic books?
Yeah, like a comic book writer. Yeah. And like he resurrected. He's like at the forefront of a lot of that stuff. I'm surprised you don't know his name.
What's his name again?
Grant Morrison, right?
I don't know.
So do we have to do I think he's very media shy. You know what I mean? So, but I would love to reach out to him. And
he's a comic book dude?
Yeah. I have one of his books called Super Gods. I just started reading it.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So you're into comics? You read comics?
Not really. Like actually, but like I was as a kid. I had like comic books lying around and stuff like that.
Were you like a reader of them, or did you just collect them?
Like I was a casual collector. I'd go to like Alien Worlds. Have you ever been to Alien Worlds?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
Was that on Ingram? There's one on
San Pedro.
San Pedro. Yeah.
It's a cool experience, you know what I mean? Especially as a teenager, because I would walk in there and I would see like little Dungeons and Dragons figurines in there.
Yeah.
And I remember like my, being a young teenager, 13, and having like my neighbor Chris like trying to like scare me, tell me that like the little figurines were like possessed or whatever, because he had a very evangelist.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, to me, all that stuff was just a game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It was fun though.
But you're not going to find me fucking around with the Ouija board or tarot cards.
Why not, dude? It's just a game. It says it right on the box, dude.
But I also watch a lot of horror movies, and I'm not trying to be one of those based on a true story movies.
I think our society fucking like picks the Ouija board on purpose. You know what I mean? Some people that will fuck with tarot cards won't fuck with Ouija boards. Why is that?
Well, I don't know. To me, I just Like, I'm not a super religious person. Like, I'm a very open-minded person, but at the end of the day, like, I'm not gonna dabble in something that I'm not comfortable with.
Yeah.
Even if I don't believe in it, if it just, I don't want to bring that kind of juju to my existence.
I guess so. So you're that like afraid of it. It's not like it's
not that I'm afraid of it
or cautious about it.
I'm dude, like, I'm not trying to bring in drama to the family. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to. I feel like being Hispanic, a lot of your thing is you don't want to bother other people. Like,
do you have this, like, do you have a spiritual thing that most people, I think, have it, like, that you use for protection, whether it be simple prayer or, like, you know, a penance of a saint if you were Catholic?
So
or
I'm not super superstitious when it comes to, like, a necklace or something, like.
But, like, last case scenario tools.
I'll pray.
Yeah.
Like, I guess you would call it a turbulence believer. Like, when you're on the airplane, you think you're going to die. That's when you talk to God.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's how I am.
A turbulence believer. I've never heard that phrase. Dude.
I feel like, and that's probably not that's a horrible way to look at it. But it's like, you know, at the end of the day, I accept that I don't know.
That's the episode name.
Turbulence.
Turbulence believer.
Yeah, turbulence believer.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what's the other one like it?
There's no atheist in a foxhole.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm not like, I'm ignorant, but I'm also open-minded. But I'm, at the end of the day, nobody knows a goddamn thing. Nobody knows anything.
True. Speak.
Like, nobody who's come back from the dead. Nobody's come back from the dead or.
Mr. Crowley.
Yeah, dude. Like, fuck. Like, that shit is. Nobody knows, but, you know, you just got to do your best. And I just try to keep the positivity going. That's, like, what gets me through. And I'm a dark person. Like,
yeah. So you struggle between the two. Then,
I do. So it's.
But you know what? That's where the growth is, dude. The balance.
And antidepressants too.
Yeah.
and anxiety medicine.
You're right,
that shit
dude.
Helps, dude.
To try and like fucking like deal with the darkness of the world and then still have a heart at the same time,
dude.
Like that's fucking depression right there. That's like got to be the root cause, dude.
Ah, man. I feel like everybody. I don't know, man. Yeah, depression's a real one. Fuck. That one.
Is that one of your sensitive subjects on call?
Oh, no. Like, my wife and I, we talk about, you know, mental health stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I've got severe depression and anxiety. You know, I've been diagnosed and all that shit, take medication for it. But yeah, it's some days it gets bad, some days, you know, but you know, ever since my wife and I got together with our kid, shout
out Nolan.
Yeah, shout out Nolan, Sarah. It kind of goes away. It kind of goes away. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has their down days where you feel like shit, or like, man, I wish we had money to do this, or, you know, there's always a letdown. But it's, you know, I'm also a grown man. It's like, well, you know. Sometimes
I wonder if it's not like that Adventure Time episode where there's a character in Adventure Time named Zergiat, right? And he's like a ruthless dictator of one of the outlying like sub-kingdoms. Right.
Yeah.
And they're like into like fetish sadism, right? So they'll like whip each other and shit. Like, and that's his thing. He goes to his like subjects and like whips them on the back, like in a weird fetishy kind of way, right? Like enough to give a parent pause kind of thing, right? They were pushing limits with Adventure Time.
I think that was like. Man, see, I
real quick, let me just tie in like why that's important.
Oh,
because it sounds like, what the fuck was that about? So like Zergiat like lost everything, became poor, and moved into the mountains and like became like a guru or whatever, right? But the moral of that whole episode was, when you have everything, you devolve into like fucking like bullshit. You know what I mean? But it's the poverty, it's the struggle, it's the depression that almost like purifies your soul. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Damn. Yeah, that show, man. I didn't.
And the show was Adventure Time. You're talking about still
Yeah, that's the show you're talking about.
Yeah.
See, I remember that was like one of those Cartoon Network like Adult Swim shows, right?
Right. Yeah. It was right before the reality show or what's it called?
I know which one you're talking
with
about.
The birds. Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of it right now. Yeah, all those cartoons were fucking cool.
King of the Hill, bro. King of the Hill
King of the Hill
so
is good. Yeah, King of the Hill follows in the Simpsons fashion.
It's just Mike Judd too, so it's same dude.
Oh yeah.
Man, that show is underrated.
Didn't Mike Judd also do Beavis and Butthead and Office Space?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
And he did. Yeah, he's done.
I don't know how I do that.
Yeah, he's done all that shit.
Yeah.
Office Space, man, that's a fucking good throwback right there. Office Space.
Mm-hmm.
I quote that bitch a lot.
Yeah, dude. There's fucking wisdom and adulthood in that movie.
But I forget a lot of people don't know that movie anymore. Like I'm
I don't
turning
know
into
how,
that. I'm
dude.
turning into that guy at work sometimes.
Nah, dude. That's like, that's one of the ones that's got to stay. Like Office Space, Hackers.
Hackers, man. Hackers, I've seen it, but I haven't seen it enough to like quote it. You know what I mean?
Well, in the movie, like they're in like advanced English and they're quoting like significant authors of the 20th century.
Yeah.
And the main guy quotes Allen Ginsburg, right? And Allen
Beats, baby.
Right.
I love Allen Ginsburg.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I'm a big fan of like Jack Kerouac, all those guys.
Jack Kerouac.
Yeah, I have a William S. Burroughs shirt buried in my closet somewhere.
How do you know? Like, I didn't even know you were into these
Naked
guys.
Lunch,
dude.
man. Naked Lunch. Fucking so good.
Well, those guys were at the forefront of the beatnik
Yes.
thing, right? And the counterculture, right? Everything we've been talking about ties back into this, dude. Grant Morrison was at Disinfocon, like in the 90s, right? The comic book guy. And he was talking about how to do magic at Disinfocon because, the disinformation.com like brand is run, I think, in part by Richard Metzger. And he was one of the last beats, right? Like
Beat poets.
him. And he was like at the time back in the 90s, he was rolling with Genesis Peorge, and she's like, I think she used the pronoun she, or maybe it was he. But yeah, dude, like they were just doing like crazy, like Jack Kerouac's type stuff, like in the modern era, and like it's just, dude, yeah, like I've revisited that recently, and I don't want that culture to die.
Man, I've always been a big component of it. Like I've always liked Burroughs. I liked Burroughs a lot. But, like, I guess Allen Ginsburg, the beard man, that guy, he was, like, one of the OGs about it, like, chilling with the Beatles and Bob Dylan and just putting it down, like...
He kind of had a job, like, maybe...
Like Howl. Did you ever read Howl?
How I listened to it. I listened to it.
Yeah, I have that book somewhere. It's the
one
paperback.
of his most popular works, yeah.
Well, that was, like, the first one that, like, went to the court. Like, they were trying to, like, throw him in jail for putting, because this is probably indecency.
Yeah.
Like that shit was like the First Amendment stuff didn't really start,
and it got thrown out, didn't it?
Yeah, it got thrown out eventually. But
by like a federal judge.
Yeah, and like Lenny Bruce as well. Like Lenny Bruce, he was one of the first stand-up comedians, and he was always in jail for just his stand-up bits. Which, if you listen to him now, it's very dated.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much him just cursing, and they're getting mad at him for cursing, and they're throwing him in jail, and him, he's talking about like risque type shit, but like this is in like the 50s.
Do you think that it's gotten better, or do you think that it's all part of a cycle where it's like we will end up in that situation again with the extreme, like,
I feel like we're so
moralists taking over?
I feel like what's in the media and what we see is so like X-rated all the time. Like I think we're
like desensitized.
I think we're very desensitized too, because I mean they were showing, like, if you think back to when our parents were really young, they were watching the Vietnam War on TV, and they were showing all that crazy shit, like, the protests, people setting themselves on fire, like that was on the news.
Yeah, man.
So people have been seeing this stuff. Every generation has seen some form of
9/11 was like
I remember watching people jumping off the building. Like I remember watching people on TV jumping off
the
buildings.
Jumpers. Yeah,
it's like fuck. It's like either burned to death or.
And then they just play it over and over again. Those 2 weeks, everybody was like, it was like everybody was in the whole fucking country, maybe the world, was walking around in a daze, dude.
It was like, dude, it was, I don't know, man.
Like what the fuck? Like it was like it felt like being thrown into an alternate universe, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Like I was 16.
That I felt that. I felt felt that during Obama's election because the hopium was so high.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember feeling that feeling. You know, Obama was on the different side of the spectrum. You know, everybody was super hopeful. You know what I mean? And then that way with fucking Trump winning the election. It felt that way with COVID. It's like what? It's like like these universe altering experiences like are happening in real life like faster and faster.
I feel like I feel like when Obama became president, like I remember I was very excited.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, I tell my wife like Obama was like the first president that I really invested a little time into liking what they stood for, liking what they said, and then they won twice.
Yeah.
Like that's like I guess the Young Democrats or whatever when JFK was elected.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
To
yeah.
me, that's what it feels like to me because he's not that much older than our dads.
He wasn't a bad terrorist president.
Dang.
Yeah. He wasn't a bad. I'm getting into the
No, but you're trying to say like people treated him like he was a terrorist because of his name and he was a different person. Because I remember when he was running for president, dude, they tore him down bad. Like they were trying to like. It was dirty, man. Like Sarah Palin and all that
Shit.
shit. Hannity.
Oh my Sean Hannity really fucking.
Bill O'Reilly, dude.
But you know, like he was such a master of communication that like even some of his enemies, like Sean Hannity, would like fucking give it up to him.
They were like, he's an intelligent guy. Like he's not a stupid person, you know. Like because he's a likable guy. You know what I mean? He is like. He just seems like, you know, one of the cool dads, kind of like, oh, man, this guy's not listening to, like, classical music. This motherfucker's listening to, like, you know, some old school, like, some Michael Jackson.
Right, dude. He's throwing a little bit of ball in the backyard.
Yeah, like, he can fucking hoop on you and shit. Like,
yeah, dude.
That shit's, like, I just remember just...
Hit the golf club. He's cultured, too.
Yeah.
And you don't see that in even some, like, it's like... Clinton like knew how to play the sax and everybody blew it up.
But he was also like older. Clinton was cool, but he was also an old ass white dude from the get go. Like,
I don't know, dude. Like maybe we should cover that family's hit list one day.
The Clintons, you see,
the Clinton hit list. That's a very Republican conspiracy theory idea.
See, I would like to look into it and just kind of laugh at it. To me, like, you know. Every person who's a politician, I don't care if it's Bernie Sanders.
That list would be a field day for somebody like you, I think, because you'd recognize a lot of the names on the list, and you'd be like, "That's bullshit. That's bull." We're just gonna have to treat it like a checklist episode.
But rich people are still friends. Like Trump was still friends with the Clintons. You know what I mean? Like all that shit before he got elected and went into all that crazy shit. Like.
Well, and having a lot of politicians said like it's different, like behind closed doors.
It is, you know, because. Yeah. You know, I did not like Trump. You know, I haven't donated more money in my entire life to a cause since he was a president. You know, and but I also have family members and have friends that are Trump supporters and they're Trump people. But I mean, I guess in Texas it's different because
it's tough in here.
Texas is like very conservative Republican, and that's fine. Like it doesn't bother me. It's what I've lived in. Right. Yes, I roll my eyes a lot sometimes, you know, certain things when I see a bunch of people in Trump with Trump flags flying and flicking people off and doing that stupid shit. Like it makes me like, God, why does Texas have to do this? Like, why do we have to be in news about this?
Right. Yeah. With Governor Abbott and everything. Yeah.
Oh,
so just for historical record, like Governor Abbott's basically trying to get, you know, like it's to stall the federal government in every way possible legally right now. It's like everything from like abortion to immigration to like he's like in like fucking 20 different fucking legal battles with the federal government.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
And we elected this fucking person.
Well, speak for yourself.
No, I didn't.
No,
I did not. But I'm saying as a state, we elected him.
Yeah. I mean, the guy is he's a special dude, and you know, I guess the only way to get through it is to just kind of like, you know, make fun of him sometimes, you know, because it's like, what else can you do? He's a fucking asshole, you know. It's outrageous how much of an asshole the dude is.
Yeah, man. Like it boggles my mind. Like
it's not even like a Republican or a conservative thing. It's like he's
a fucking moron.
He's not considerate of like human thought, feeling, emotion,
like
himself.
Him and Ted Cruz, man, they fucking.
I have a feeling like Ted Cruz and him probably get together and like it's just.
He greases his wheelchair
wheels.
You know? Oh, my bad.
His I literally thought you were like, gonna say like, oh yeah, he greases each other's wheels.
No, he's like he greases his bearings. You know, he's got to make sure his wheelchair is all up to par.
Oh man, you and I are walking on the edge of a very steep cliff.
Man, I'm just kidding. He's a fucking old white guy. He doesn't have to walk if he doesn't want to.
Dude,
he's a rich guy. Rich guys don't care about anything. Allegedly. This is all alleged. This is all opinions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
This is all comedy. Just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding. I love you, Texas.
Man. You know, it's funny that Austin is like one of the most liberal cities, and it's also the capital of one of the most conservative states.
Man.
Austin city limits, dude. It's a hot pot.
Yeah. I don't know. Texas is so big, but man, it can be small sometimes.
Yeah.
Just the way we get looped, like the way we get like lobbed in with all the other crazy people.
The crazy states?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's
the South kind of.
Yeah, I think Texas plays a particular role, you know what I mean? Like, and it's also got its own flavor, right? Because like we have a little bit of like Longview, Texas, East Texas, which is traditional South.
Yeah. And
then we have like West Texas, which is like, you know, romantic South.
And then we have East Texas, which is scary.
Right. Yeah.
To me, it's scary.
Fucking. Yeah, dude.
A lot of racists.
A lot of different areas, but it all kind of merges. So like Texas like plays a star role in the South, I think.
But you know what I do love about Texas though is like if I know my car is not going to start in the parking lot, I'm not going to have to wait to call somebody. I know somebody in the parking lot is going to be like, "Hey, you need a jump?"
Yeah.
You know, it may take no more than 10 minutes.
Right.
It's going to happen because Texas still has that too.
Yeah.
Like just because
people are nice here. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're willing to help. You know what I mean? It's like, well, fuck, let me help this guy out real quick. He looks like a nice person, you know.
I think like African tribesmen and shit say that about like the laws. Like it's just understood that if a person is traveling through a town, you help them.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's part of being it's
human.
Being in the human race as well. Like if I had my son and my wife with me, I wouldn't be able to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna. You know.
Yeah, I mean, there is.
But if I was by myself, I'd be like, yeah, I'll fucking help you jump your car. Like, it's not. Do you have jumper cables? Kind of like, real quick, let's just knock it out.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't start, it's like, well, you're on your own. Like, I'm not gonna help you, fucking do anything else.
Be like, no, you can't use my phone, dude. I'm always like paranoid about the hacking and shit.
Yeah, I had to use somebody's phone one time. I locked my keys and my phone in the truck. So yeah.
You got anything else you want to talk about right now?
No, I think we're good, man.
Yeah,
we're at an hour, right?
Yeah, man. We're gonna have to pull out here. We're 57 minutes. Thank you for listening to this episode of Tiddlecast. My name is Joel Benavides. I'm joined by my co-host Ray Chomps.
Chop chop, chop chop.
And we are gonna get out of here. It is as of this recording about 1 a.m. on November the 10th, early in the wee hours of.
We did a late night.
Frank Sinatra was the one that sang "That's Life." I was fishing.
That's life.
Yeah.
Oh, and Summer Wind.
And he also has an album called "In the Wee Hours." So we're gonna get out of here.
All right. See y'all. Episode 8 is the next one, right?
Yeah. Episode 8. This was a haphazard one, but also I think we covered a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, man. I want us to talk about the Clintons next week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do some research too.
Okay. We'll knock that out then.
Sweet. All right, baby.
Okay. We'll see you guys later. Cheers.